Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Today we're going to be talking about Sony and Microsoft in their impending battle for your wallets. And the question today is Sony able to deliver, or is Spider-Man Miles Morales enough to be able to draw people to the PlayStation console, seeing that Microsoft has basically provided a barrage of value with everything that they're doing? And this conversation needs to happen. This question needs to be answered, and answered very soon, because Microsoft basically purchased Bethesda, or Zenimax Holdings, who's the parent company of Bethesda, and a multitude of studios who have gaming projects that they're working on releasing, gaming projects that they've even signed exclusivity deals with Sony for, and potential projects that we don't even know about that may be in the works. And Microsoft has said, we're going to honor those exclusives with Sony, which is so ironic that Sony is now going to be having, PlayStation is going to be having exclusive deals on a Microsoft entity. That is the epitome of the irony of what that exclusivity has now become, because Microsoft has shown that they can basically squash that kind of, market play. Because if they replicate this same thing and acquire another huge publisher, that's a significant publisher, by the way, then it only goes to stand that this console war is going to be officially evaporated. And how is Sony going to respond to their fans? Sony has taken some initiative. What they've done is they've actually offered the PlayStation Plus library to PS5 owners, who I think also have PlayStation Plus. They've offered that library to them, including a whole bunch of games, some of the new exclusive PlayStation games, themselves. I think this is actually a good thing. But is it going to be enough? Game Pass is launching with 100 games, and they haven't even disclosed the date that they're going to be adding the Zenimax-based game to, Game Pass, of which some of them are already on there. Games like Dishonored 2, is already on Game Pass, but there's also a huge and bigger library of games like Dune, Elder Scrolls, and all the others. And so they are probably working on all these things, but my suspicion is they're going to be announcing this release pretty much closer to the release, or at the release of the game consoles, or basically in the holiday season, when things are ramping up and the competition is basically fired up. And Sony, on its other hand, is now advertising kind of a continuation of these exclusives that come solely on the platform. If you think about God of War, the original God of War for the PS4 anyways, which is God of War Part 4, that game did very well. And so players are expecting God of War Ragnarok. But the question is that also going to be enough of a value initially in the very first few years of the release? When is God of War Ragnarok actually coming? There's just, it's just a coming soon thing. We don't have as much information on it. And is it going to be on the PS4, or is it just going to be a PS5 exclusive? Because right now, I don't think Sony is even in a position to really make PS5 exclusives. And that's evident from the fact that Spider-Man Miles Morales is also going to be on the PlayStation 4, because the PlayStation 4 sold a lot of units. So in the very first 2 years, Microsoft is going to find itself at an advantage, and Sony is going to have to still serve the PS4 community, because that is a huge install base. That's what they call it. And the person who calls this whole thing an install base was somebody who was actually an insider talking about the new so-called Batman themed game, which we now know is Gotham Knights. And they said, this new game was going to be a game that was cross-generation, and they were going to have to put the game on the, on both of the different platforms, because of the huge, player base that's already available on Xbox One and the PS4. So you think about it, that a new console generation, Microsoft has the best value in games, and right now is also capable of bringing some other beloved games to their ecosystems, which, Elder Scrolls, a lot of the Bethesda-based games are going to be coming there, and even whatever exclusives Sony may have, these exclusives are also Microsoft-based exclusives. I don't think players are going to really be worried anymore if they tap into the system, because the exclusives are even timed nonetheless, and after a while, Microsoft may provide value for its own players as well when they finally, retract these or the exclusive deals finally go expired. So how is Sony going to respond to this? Is Sony going to just proceed with business as usual? Because yes, PlayStation fans are still going to buy their PlayStations. There's no doubt about that. But how are they going to grow that ecosystem now that Microsoft has shown that it is a juggernaut? All Microsoft needs to do is do some really interesting things and make some really strong moves. Now, I know Sony has also secured some really strong positions with games like GTA, which is a very, very popular game. So they do have third-party games that can really stand in the place for them. It's not going to be as, in my opinion, impressionable as what Microsoft is doing with Xbox All Access, with xCloud, and all the other things. But Sony has a chance here to be able to make a difference. I would say that Microsoft seems to have won the console war, at least provided Sony with a huge conundrum on exactly how they need to proceed. That's pretty much going to be my own analysis for all of this. But as it stands, as somebody who's a PlayStation 4 owner, I don't right now see any value in getting the PlayStation 5. In fact, if there's any value that I see, it's if I was going to buy a console, getting an Xbox. But fortunately, I already play on the PC platform, so that's kind of how I've been able to tap into both ecosystems. And right now, I can tell you for sure that if the new games are going to be coming on the PlayStation 4, just like I've said, I still see my PlayStation 4 as the main value that I can actually get. And so now the buck stops with Sony. How are they going to respond to this? What are they going to do about it? How are they going to approach this situation? Are they going to have to make the hard choices of bringing games like, God of War Ragnarok to the PS4? Or are they going to make it a PS5 exclusive in order to make the PS5 players feel like they have more value? But then console sale numbers have not really gone, out the roof by anybody's measures. Yes, pre-orders were kind of, difficult to get, but we haven't seen the numbers yet. We don't know if those numbers are representative of what the sales will be or what it will look like, especially now that we've had these issues in the world. Could that be a sign that we basically need for them to step up? Could that be that it means that these exclusives are really going to be a force to be reckoned with? I think these are many questions that we have, and I have to also concede there's Horizon Zero Dawn. There's also The Last of Us as a potential, having a third game that could be an exclusive. But to be very frank, Uncharted seemed to have been ended, and unless they're going to bring another Uncharted game, that will mean Naughty Dog is going to be working on 2 potential games for this generation, and then Santa Monica Studios is going to be working for God of War. Maybe they have another God of War to follow with it, but that's going to be expensive ventures, and Sony will probably be playing catch up by the time Microsoft is done releasing all these Zenimax or Bethesda based games, and even doing partnerships with companies like EA, doing maybe potential partnerships with other companies who may see the Game Pass as lucrative for their business model. But anyways, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this matter. So in the comment section, let me hear what you think. Do you think Sony is still in a good place? I think they are, but they're not in as strong as a position as they were just a few weeks ago. In fact, the song has changed where Sony players are now saying, or PlayStation players are now saying, man, we hope that Microsoft doesn't make a lot of these games exclusive to their own platform, because if they do, that will really, really be very strong, competition for Sony to have to deal with. But I think Microsoft is going to make it very strong. They're going to see how Sony plays, and they're going to play right along with them. So we might start to see Sony make some serious decisions and make some serious crossovers, in order to be able to maybe tap into the PC markets to mitigate a lot of this competition. They've already started doing it. Death Stranding got a PC release. Horizon Zero Dawn got a PC release. These were very huge shockers for a lot of people. And I would not be surprised if we start to see some other games start to cross into the PC context as well. This is really interesting nonetheless. But like I said, let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. All of this is quite exciting stuff, and I hope to see you guys hopefully in another video. Peace out.